I was admitted to the hospital for severe COVID pneumonia, and I was in the hospital for 27 days on isolation. And I am here to tell my story. My name is Ricki. I am a mom of 3. I live in Excelsior Springs, Missouri, and I am the director of Luck Staffing for Ignite Medical Resorts. In May of 2021, I had my annual checkup. Everything was fine, clear bill of health. And in July of 2021, I tested positive for COVID. I worked in long-term care, so we were the first to get access to the vaccine. And when it was our turn to get the vaccine, I chose not to get the vaccine because it was still so new. The vaccine was rolled out so quickly that I didn't trust it. I just didn't feel comfortable getting the vaccine that hasn't been researched enough, and I didn't want it. That was my decision. I chose not to get the vaccine. What happened in July, I actually got poison ivy is what happened, and I'm highly allergic to poison ivy. So July 23rd, I went into the hospital because my body was covered, and they gave me some medication. I went home. 2 days later, I got a fever, and I was really sick. I didn't know what was happening, so I went back to the hospital, and that is when I tested positive for COVID. I was on 60 liters of oxygen at 90%. That's how hard it was for me to breathe on my own. And over the course of the 27 days I was in the hospital, we were able to slowly go down. And by the time I was discharged, I was at 2 liters. But during that 27 days, I was on isolation. I was not able to see my family. I was not allowed to have visitors. It was extremely difficult for me and my family. I cried daily because I missed my family so much. I vaguely remember calling my husband and crying because they were switching my breathing apparatus from just regular oxygen to a mask that was pushing air, forcing me to breathe. Out of the blue, they come and tell me that I'm being transferred. So they are getting me ready and prepping me to be transferred to Mosaic Life Care Center in St. Joe. And that is about an hour drive, and it was miserable. You know, I was in the ambulance shaking, and it was just not a fun ride. I was very emotional. I actually cried like the entire time because I didn't know what was happening. I didn't know what was going on. I just know that they said that I was in critical condition, and I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know what the outcome would be. Sorry. I was thinking of my family and my kids. It was just very scary. And eventually it settled down, and doctors came in and explained to me what was going on. So when I was admitted to the hospital, one of the very first thoughts were, who's going to take care of the kids? What's going to happen? And my husband obviously had to stay home and take care of the kids because with me having COVID, they also had COVID. So he had to stay home, and the whole house had to quarantine. He had to miss work. So not only did that affect him, but it affected us as a family.
My name is Ryan. I'm Ricki's husband. And when she got diagnosed with COVID and was in the hospital, it had a lot of effects on the family here at the house. The hardest part was not being able to see her, because when you can't comfort somebody, I don't even think I could do this, to be honest. I think the hardest, it's all just like mashed together for me, that The hardest part is, when somebody's sick, and you care about them, you want to take care of them, and you can't. It's hard for me. It's hard when you can't see them. Like she said, I missed a lot of work. Had to take care of the kids. The kids don't understand. They just, especially if it doesn't affect them very much, they don't understand that. They just, it just stops for a certain period of time. Her calling every night, multiple times a night, wanting to know if everything's gonna be okay, if she's coming home. And you can't give those answers because you don't know. But for her, for the kids, to try to stay as positive as I could. It was tough. It still is tough.
I'm still on oxygen. It's still difficult for me to breathe at times. It's still very difficult for me to move. I actually have home health come in 4 days a week. They do therapy with me. That way I can slowly get better. Lots of exercising. I'm still not able to help with the laundry, do the dishes, do the cooking. My family still basically has to wait on me, which is a lot. It's hard on them, and it's hard on me because I want to be able to get up and do these things, and I'm physically not capable. I'm not strong enough yet. The worst part is I actually just went to the doctor for a follow-up, and she kind of made it clear, one of those where I understand it now. She said, by the time I'm able to walk the block, it would probably be February. I mean, that's a long time. I'm ready to walk the block now. I'm not capable, but that's a long time. That's a long recovery time. The vaccinated patients where I was, they were only there for like 2 or 3 days. They got better so quickly. It was amazing. But yes, if I could go back, I would have gotten the vaccine. I would have rather gotten the vaccine than to live what I'm living now.